So right now, I've gotten questions often that what happens after you prime a part, but the seam line is still there. Now this happens, often. If you don't seam it properly, sometimes you have bubbles and whatnot. Uh, Parts don't fit well together, or you have a slight gap that you need to fill that seam. So what I did here is I sanded the putty off, revealing where my seam is, right here. Now what I could do is, there's several different types of putty. There's a light curing putty I could use that cures over with light, and this cures in about 5 minutes. Or I could use a two-part epoxy putty. This is a putty with basically two pieces to it. Come out here. And cut a small amount, mix these up together, and put it together and put it over the seam. Now the epoxy putty is a bit of an overkill for something like fixing a seam. This would be most likely used for sculpting additional pieces or having transition pieces when you're doing scratch building. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use Tamiya basic putty. Now this is a lacquer based product, and this will eat into the plastic. This melts to the plastic while it cures. So you do not want to use too much of this, otherwise you're going to end up with a chunk of melted plastic. So I'm just going to take a small amount, with my toothpick. I'm just going to apply it carefully, just along that putty edge, or along that seam line. I'm just trying to get it as thin as possible. Just smooth it out with the toothpick. This will dry very, very quickly. However, it'll take a good couple hours before it fully sets up. So I just have that applied liberally to the surface, right around the seam, and there, leave it alone. And I'm just gonna let this sit and come back to it in a couple hours and sand this, and then re-putty or re-prime, and then the seam should be completely gone.